Hey guys, this is Colgate here, OGX Ferrara, and today we're going to be doing a review on the T-10. Now this tank is truly a beauty, it's very useful in competitive play due to its strong turret, good gun, and its mobility. In pub matches it is pretty good as well. Just fix ammunition loadout here because I don't need this many heat in pubs. Alright, so let's start the stats. 4.88 rounds a minute, that's not, that's alright. Well, I mean, it's pretty good, I guess, for 40 alpha. You can get it down to roughly 10-second reload, 10.2, which, isn't that bad. But there are tanks with better DPM, obviously. So be wary of that. I mean, it has 2600 DPM, and Tier 10 mediums will completely out DPM you, but you're a heavy tank, very good turret, pretty sturdy gun too, so it kind of balances out. 0.38 accuracy isn't too bad. That's fairly decent for a gun with this kind of pen and Tier 9. Can do its job. 2.8 aim time. I mean, there are things that are better, there are things that are worse, of course. Now, when you take in consideration that you have 2.8 aim time, and then if you're running vents and rations like I am, it is better than that. So keep in mind that if you run a good equipment loadout or consumables, the high-end consumables, brothers in arms and stuff, it will help that a little bit. It will help the accuracy too, so keep that in mind. Alright, the turret armor is 250, but let's see exactly what the turret armor looks like. So, as you can see here, the turret is where this thing shines. This is basically, I mean, the turret you can be played as a 62 alpha. The turret in the front is basically impenetrable, and the gun mallet especially, whereas the Russian mediums is not the same. But the cheeks of the turret, I mean, as you can see, they're pretty good, generally speaking. Tier 10 TDs will AP or heat APCR through you, depending on it. I've been penned there quite a few times by an E4. So keep that in mind. The top of the turret, as you can see, is 31 to 50, and that means that a 155 or a 152 tank destroyer will triple overmatch and pen you. So if you're hull down and you're facehugging, or if you're facehugging a tank and he can't shoot your hull, like a Jaeger perhaps, he can shoot the top of your turret and he doesn't have to necessarily even hit an angle that he would pen. It will just pen if he hits it with an AP shell. So be extremely careful with that kind of stuff, guys. Alright. It's something that is really obnoxious, and it happens. It's something that's common throughout, like the IS-3, the T-10. It's also on the IS-4, that type of turret on the weak spot, also at the 140, etc. All right. Now the hull in this tank is pretty garbage. I mean, you might bounce the upper plate if you're lucky, but generally speaking, most people are going to pen you every shot in the hull. Don't expect too much bounces. This tank, it does excel in reverse side scraping though. If you can reverse side scrape and you're fairly decent at it, it will work. Although it's a very finessey tank, meaning that it has to be 100% perfect. There is zero room for error. If there's any error in your gameplay when you're reverse side scraping, they will pen you, and they'll either hit an ammo rack or a fuel tank, and that isn't very fun, especially if you're running rations. Now this is not my good crew. My good crew is in my T-54. As you can see, it's got a lot of crew skills, but this does not. Now, for equipment, I run rammer, vents, and normally I would run V-stabs as well. As I said, the aim time isn't that great, so accuracy during turret movement, and rotation is quite helpful. Vents and rammer, vents helps with aim time as well, and it also helps your DPM, as does rammer. That's pretty big. So when you're running vents, rammer, and rations, and brothers in arms, it is the 100% best possible reload that you can get. Now, for consumables, the AP penetration is 258. That's pretty good at Tier 9. You're really not going to run into too many things you cannot pen. I mean, if you do, just switch to heat and you'll pen it no problem. Now, the heat rounds, 340. That's really good. You can face punch any tank that doesn't have really sharp curves. I can't think of anything in our gun mallet, space armor, stuff like that. You're not your typical heat round, but anything that's like relatively flat, I can't think of anything off the top of my head in the game that you will not pen. So just keep that in mind. So I carry 28 and 2. I mean, generally speaking, you're more top tier than not. So I feel like you don't need that much heat. I did carry a lot of heat because of scrims, and there's also 3 marking this tank, so I, spam a little bit more heat than I probably should be, but that's alright. For consumables, smaller repair kit, small first aid kit, and extra combat rations. Now, some people like to run small repair kit or large repair kit or large first aid kit because, well, it's Russian and you tend to get hit 2 or 3 modules at once, or you can. But I don't, as you can see, I have 92,000 silver in my garage right now. That is not a lot of silver to be playing around that stuff. I run rations because, well, I'm a scrub and I like to do that. I like to have the maximum DPM spotting that I can have, so that's why I do that in any tank. So, that being said, this tank is played, it doesn't have quite enough armor to brawl on the front lines in a tier 10 game unless you can get hold down. It kind of doesn't have the best mobility to like flank a layer on the map like a medium, so it's kind of finessey to play. But if you get into a spot where you can abuse the turret and or the gun, it is an absolutely monstrous tank, and it is very fun to play. So with that, let's get to some gameplay, guys, and see how this goes. So, we'll see. Hopefully the queue isn't all messed up, but with the recent update to Wargaming, it has been a little messed up. I've gotten this map like 12 times in the last 24 hours. I'm really sick of this map. I'm sick of playing it, but nothing you can do about it. Just gotta learn the map. Depending on spawn, you could like to play left corner in a heavy tank. I don't go up to the top. It's top tier. I'm gonna go brawl. If it's tier 10, there's a lot of brawly, and we have more mediums. I'm gonna push 8 and try to spot. That's pretty. I don't think I'm gonna have that happen. We get north spawn anyway, so I'm not gonna go over there. Now we have a little advantage. There is no artillery this game, so there's a little spot down here you can get a hold down in almost any tank with a good turret, and that's where I plan on getting, as long as the team comes this way. So that's hopefully there's something that goes this way. I'm gonna ping this side of the map again and just say SOS. Hopefully someone listens. Looks like the E4 is coming over here. Death Star, so we have a little bit of firepower with us. It's nice to know. E100, 257 heavies all in a platoon, so I'm expecting if they have any sort of overmatch, I'm just going to expect the YOLO. I'm not going to be too afraid to shoot heat either at the E100 and the Jaegeru because, well, even the Death Star really, I'm not going to, hesitate too much. It is a Death Star. It's not really scummy to shoot a scummy with the heat, so I'm not going to cry over it. I don't think you will either. Now, one thing you got to learn about this tank is that, although it's very quick, it doesn't have, at least doesn't feel like it has the best terrain. What I mean by that is, like, if you're going full speed down like a hill or something, you'll go really quick. But the second you hit like water or something, or like really swampy terrain, you'll get bogged down. Although clutch braking and off-road driving certainly helps as well, and I do believe I have that on. So I am at an upper hand. Hopefully the team isn't all sit back there. Hopefully they push up a little bit, but so it looks like the 1-2 line's kind of spread thin. There's only 4 tanks up there. One of them is sniping the hill. So we're either going to have to win this side really quick, or we're going to have to fall back in the middle to fight. So let's hope the latter does not happen. This is just some passive play here. Well, I shouldn't say passive because I'm pretty far up, but I guess it's more passive than already starting to push. I'm kind of nervous to push right now. I mean, there is tanks right there, but there's nothing really stopping them from the YOLO besides the E4 and E785. I mean, it's an E100, so only he has if the E75 isn't fully upgraded. Let me see if he is actually. He looked it at the brief second I caught him. So we should be all set there, but we will find out. Not seeing anything yet. There we go. Okay, I don't know what that is. Is that out of range? They do have a heavy and A0. They only have 5 heavies. If 1 heavy is there, I'm going to take the gamble. I like to gamble. I'm going to take the gamble here. Now, normally I wouldn't like to push front lines in this tank, but because this is a hilly map, there's a lot of hills to abuse my turret on, and there's no artillery, so if I get into a very good position, I do not have to worry about it. And the only OPTD that they really have that can pen my turret is the Jaegeru. The Death Star will bounce the turret, if he hits it anyways. Well, I mean, it's 0.4 accuracy, he's probably sniping the ridge, because we've basically got them at a pretty good pincer right now. Or, we got them in the option to be pincered right now. I shouldn't say they're in a pincer yet. But...
Ready to fire on target. Enemy in sight.
see, the gun's pretty nice and hard-hitting. Get some spotted hits early on in the game, it's nice. T-51 just going to rebalance this guy up. There he goes. I have shots in the 57 heavy as well. Take that as well. Hit him for 447. So, I mean, this gun says .38, but it definitely feels a lot more accurate than that at times. I mean, there are times when it trolls you, just take a shot. There are times when it will troll you, but it's pretty good overall. I mean, it's not that bad. I kind of enjoy it. Now, the fact that they have all their tanks over there is quite annoying. Ooh, that's a nice aim rack shot. The fact that they have all their tanks right there is kind of obnoxious because it really limits what you can do. This Batchat is just going to spot for us for those TDs in the back. As you can see, there's the Jaegeru. I tried to sneak one into his side, but I fired a little too late. I'm going to switch to heat because I don't trust the accuracy hitting his lower plate. So, I'm also getting spotted, so I can't peek that. That is really not what I wanted to do. I want to shoot heat at a Batchat, but he needs to go. He needs to go now. Before I get clipped. Or we clip someone out. As you can see, I'm moving because you don't exactly know where they are. This Batchat's going to try to get into our ass and just try to... oh, that was not his turret. He's going to try to get into our ass and just unload a clip. That's what he's going to try to do. Our team is pushing right now. That is a good thing, but... and he's dead, alright. I do have a Centurion 7-1 on cap, so... oh, and I do have an E100 right there. That was a really bad shot. I don't know what I was thinking right there. So they do have quite a few tanks. I don't think the 100 can pen my turret, but I'm just going to switch to heat. I'm not going to fix that. It's going to wiggle. If you're ever in a spot like this, just keep your turret wiggle. That's 57 heavy. I need to move now. Alright, so we've lost base up at A5 as you can see, but I can't fall back now because the E100, there is no feasible route, I do not think. No, there's not. So he has to go. He has to go now in order for us to win this. So I might try to play this up here a little bit. I normally hate doing this, but try to help the team out with the Jaegeru. And they are going to cap, and normally I'd say this is a really obnoxious thing to do, and I'm really mad at the team. But I really can't say anything because we are losing. We are about to lose the base. We just... rip, don't get that snapshot off, boy. There we go. As you can see, they did get the reset. That is not really a good thing. Oof. So that was a hash round. If you didn't see it come in at the last second, it was orange. That was a hash. So he did just get a nice solid hit on me. I am ammo rack now for the rest of the game. I can't fix it, so maybe I can wipe this guy out before he gets up to our team and resets. Gotta make sure. I had to make sure that actually hit and penned. Alright. So, this wasn't a fantastic game, to be honest, but it's alright. Now, I did bounce a few rounds off the turret, as you saw, but this thing's hull... oh, they reset. As you saw, this thing's hull does get penned quite often. I mean, that Pershing, I don't know what he was doing. He derped my tracks a few times, but nothing you can really do about it. That lead was perfect. I'm actually pretty happy with that lead. 13 seconds before he gets up there again, I might just take the hit and try to have the Death Star shoot me over the team. because I'd rather have him kill me than lose the game. So, but it looks like he got behind the hill.
Gun loaded.
So I'm I'm not gonna get another shot off in this game before they do cap out. So this is going to be a L, but I obviously can't get back to the base in 6 seconds. I may have been able to pull back. Ooh, we got him. I may have been able to pull back earlier, but I would have had a chance to shot from the E-100 and the Death Star because he did shoot me when I did expose myself.
Good to fight another day.
So, all in all, it wasn't a terrible game. It wasn't a great game either. I mean, you know, was it 5,400 combined, so that's not too bad. 95.3 in the mark. So, I mean, I don't really like to do this right here, but these three guys right here really have no excuse to be at the bottom of the board. You know, top tier E100, top tier E4, and a top tier another E100. All three of them dropped the donut. Death Star with the 400, so he must have not penned a he didn't pen a headshot because he doesn't have a kill. So, when you guys have a game like this and you see that you didn't perform, well, you performed alright, but you lose anyways, just look at your team and see, well, what could I have done better to carry a little bit more? What could they have done better to carry a little bit more? And think of how you can play to your teammates, because if you try to play to the way you want to play, it's going to really affect you, because most teammates aren't going to listen to how you want to play. So that's really important to do. If you really want to continue to excel in the game, you got to see where your team's going and play to how your team is playing. The second you start playing to, second you start wanting to force your team to play to you, which that game I saw, oh, my team's going the corner, I'm going to go to the corner as well. At the beginning I was debating it, but then I realized we had basically most of the force down there. We should have won it a little bit earlier. Actually, I should have made the aggressive push up to the flag and tried to keep pushing. I probably could have spotted the Death Star and probably won that flank a little bit quicker, but I didn't do that. I didn't think of that until just now. But always think about games when you get back to Garage, how you can improve the next time you play this tank in a map, and how you could react to different situations. Right there, I wasn't preparing. Well, I knew that was probably going to happen, but I wasn't in a spot to fall back. I didn't think of the fallback spot. So always try to keep in mind all of the situations that are possible, and the more you are able to think of more situations, the better you'll do in this tank, especially because this tank is kind of squishy, so you can't take hits and fall back with. But that's it for this video. The next one is most likely going to be the T-54 or the STA-2. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know I enjoyed making it. Have a good day, and good luck.